My mistake. Yes, 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 yes. It's Friday. Terrible voice, sore throat, but the show must go on. So we got a show for Friday, so I can rest this croaky, sore throat voice of mine till Monday. Okay. Matches in the MPF are going down to this weekend. Matches in the Premier League, matches in the different leagues. Folarin Balogun, the one that couldn't find a place at the Arsenal team, is now leading the chart in the French League. On, Jesus Christ! But since these boys don't win, man, football is different. So, so many things to talk about for this show. But I'm going to start with how does Graham Potter, Chelsea fans show up here? Seems like I'm talking a lot about Chelsea lately. How does Graham Potter manage this squad? He's been given a squad. There's Enzo that might make it to play against Fulham tonight. There is Mikhailo Modric, who's a good player. All bets on him. I know that almost everybody is signing him on their FPL right now. I've not checked my FPL since forever. I still have Jack Cancelo on my team. I don't know, but yeah, my other computer crashed. My other computer died, so I'm using this one, and I can't remember my password for my what's it called? So, some emails and the rest of them. So FPL, if they work on this, that's not important right now. There are other things that are important. So Fulham Chelsea coming up by 9 o'clock Nigerian time, 8 o'clock in the UK. Let's look at some of the things that I wanted to talk about. The standing in the Premier League, Arsenal still stays top. 19 games play, one game in hand. Liverpool does have 2 games in hand, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 1 game in hand and 2 games in hand on Fulham and Tottenham. If they win those two on Tottenham, obviously they win those two to jump over Fulham. That is hoping that Fulham doesn't win against Chelsea tonight. I'm just saying it's possible to win because, but the quality of players that Toboli and his Baghdad guy are bought, they should be able to find it easy, right? Only Arsenal is a team that's gotten up to 50 points. Man City will still be needing 2 match games to get a 50 points. Newcastle will need 3 match games to get to 50 points. Yeah, 9 plus 9, no, 4 match games actually. Man United will need 4 match games. Tottenham Hotspur, Canada, those ones will need 5 to 6 match games to get to 50 points. And then you have Liverpool somewhere in ninth, 29 points. Jesus Christ. That's actually almost half. That's like half of Arsenal's point. Almost 4 points more anyway. I mean 25. So any team that is on 25, let's look at Chelsea. Where's Chelsea? Chelsea is also on 29 points. So you look at this game a bit. I say Chelsea and Liverpool on 29 points, right? Okay, so for starters, how does Ten Hag manage and select his team? What does he say to them in the dressing room? What are the bases for dropping the players that he will drop and picking the ones that he will pick? Let's look at the goal scorers chart. You have Manchester City's Erling Haaland on 25 goals. Harry Kane, they say he's having a bad season, but second with 16 goals and 1 assist. Ivan Toney, the one that didn't take to the World Cup, 13 goals, 3 assists. And then you have Mitrovic, I thought would fall off the path, but still there. 11 goals, 1 assist. And then you have Rodrigo of Leeds United with 10 goals and 1 assist. And then you have Rashford, 9 goals with 3 assists. It's coming up. We don't have the only Arsenal player. Okay, there are 2 Arsenal players. You have Odegaard with 8 goals and 5 assists. Then you have Bukayo Saka with 7 goals and 7 assists. That is incredible for him. And then you have Martinelli with 7 goals and 2 assists. And you also have Leandro Trossard now. He's not in Arsenal. He's got 7 goals and 2 assists. And didn't do all that for Arsenal anyway. But he came from somewhere. So that's one. That's one part of the conversation. Manchester United now have a dilemma, and I'm happy for one reason. You know, when this whole talk of oh he has raped somebody, he's going to jail. I remember chatting up one guy on social media, one presenter. I'm not going to mention his name. I want sports presenter, and he was just going up. And I said to him, "You're a public figure. You are someone that people listen to. A case have not been concluded. You cannot call him a rapist yet, okay?" And he went basak on me, saying all sorts. I said, "Listen, everybody's excited to do breaking news, to tell story, but as much as you want to do that, you want to do it and you want to be sure. And I don't think that the way you're going about it is good. But he thought like this okay, go to Now it's been all charges have been dropped. How does Eric Ten Hag bring him back? They really need the speed that he can bring to the team. But how do they deal with it? The trauma, the whole pain, the whole things that have happened to him. How do they ease him back into the squad without having a problem? Well, let's go to the German Bundesliga and Arsenal. They say Arsenal need a striker, right? But Folarin Balogun, who couldn't play well, remember that game against Brentford, first game last season, how he went bad and it was just in nowhere. Okay, how does Arteta deal with it? Should Arteta immediately start planning to bring him back this summer or still leave him there? Remember, is the top goal scorer now in France. In Germany, while bringing the German Bundesliga into the conversation, at one point it seems like Bayern are home and dry. The last three games they've picked up 3 points, they've drawn all three. They're 37 points now. Union Berlin, that's how when he left, in second position, 36 points, 1 point behind Bayern Munich. And then you have RB Leipzig in 35 points, Borussia Dortmund in 34 points, and then Freiburg, Eintracht Frankfurt, Wolfsburg, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Bayer Leverkusen, that is coached by Xabi Alonso, all, in that order. And the top goal scorer in Germany, let's look at that a bit before I go to the other place. Falcon is the top goal scorer with 13 goals and 2 assists. Nkunku will be going to Chelsea definitely next season, hopefully. Let's not say definitely because hijacking is allowed these days. He's on 12 goals already. Marcus Thuram, the player that I thought Arsenal should sign, he's got 10 goals and 3 assists. In third position, he plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. And then Musiala Bayern Munich is on 9 goals, okay, with 6 assists. And then you now have Serge Gnabry. Before then you have Grita of Freiburg with 9 goals and 3 assists. And then you have Serge Gnabry with 8 goals and 4 assists. And the list go all and all. Kolo Muani, the guy who could have won the World Cup for France, but the leg of Martinez did not let that happen. Well, there's a game in Spain today, Athletic Bilbao Cadiz, but Barcelona sits on the top of the league table, haven't won the last 4 games they played, drawn 1. Real Madrid have won 3, drawn 1, lost 1 in the last 5 games. And then you have Real Sociedad. We never thought that with the loss of Alexander Isak to Newcastle, they will be up there, but they are third, okay? 39 points. Atletico Madrid are in 4th, Villarreal in 5th, and Betis in 6th. Okay, 5 points clear at the top for Barcelona. Let's look at the top goal scorers. I'm going somewhere with this. Lewandowski is number 1, 14 goals, 4 assists. Joselu of Espanyol is number 2, 11 goals, 2 assists. Iago Aspas, who now plays for Celta Vigo, is number 3 with 9 goals and 3 assists. Karim Benzema, 9 goals and 3 assists. Ignatius Betis, 9 goals and 2 assists. Okay. Where my French people, when I need them right now, I need the French Ligue 1, and we will take the conversation from there, because that's a place where I want us to look at and say, what should Arteta do with the Folarin Balogun situation? If you are to advise him, what do you advise? Paris Saint-Germain in the last 5 games, I've won 2, lost 2, drawn 1. And my Olympic Marseille, I've won 4, drawn 1. And then you have Lens, who are in 3rd, which is the former club, who are in 3rd. I've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. And then Monaco are in 4th with 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5 games. Now let's look at the top goal scorer in this league. In Liga, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Lacazette, What's that guy that's Arsenal signed for 72 million? Nicolas Pepe. Well, Folarin Balogun playing for Rams is on 14 goals and 1 assist. Not big on the assist, but big on the goals. Last game, he scored a hat-trick. Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe have 13 goals, 2 assists. Neymar, Paris Saint-Germain, you really does know how to assist. Have 10 assists, same as Messi, with 12 goals to his name. And then you go to David, who have 12 goals and 4 assists. Lacazette, 12 goals and 4 assists. Ben Yedder, yes, Wassa Ben Yedder of Monaco, 12 goals and 2 assists. Terry Murphy is now with Nice, OGC Nice, all of them are the same. Nice, okay, OGC Nice. 12 goals, 0 assists, not big on the assist side of town, not interested in passing to anybody. My man, you pat the ball into the net, that's what he does. He's not interested in passing the ball to anybody. I'm coming, we're going to have a conversation combined. Somewhere, Mbolo of Monaco have 11 goals, 3 assists. Lionel Messi of the tribe of the Abbé Celeste have 9 goals, 10 assists. Only 2 players in this league have 10 assists each, and that's Messi and Neymar. Messi really does have something extra. And then people keep saying that Neymar doesn't do anything. 12 goals and 10 assists, and they don't do anything. I wonder what they would do that would mean anything. And sometimes people from countries like Nigeria, they'll be trolling Neymar, and I'll be wondering, what are you trolling him for? As it is right now, if the career ends today, he's achieved more than any Nigerian player, practically almost every African player. But you are trolling him. What are you trolling him for? If Neymar was from Africa or from any Nigerian country, he will be treated as a god. But hey, you have the gods to troll him. Well, that's life anyway. Let's move on to the conversation. So let's take it one step at a time. Let's break it down. Let's start with Graham Potter. How does he manage this new squad that he's got? Because the squad has changed. I'm happy for Chelsea. Like I said before, I, as an Arsenal fan, do not have the right to banter Chelsea. I know that this is a process, and they're going to go through the process, and they will come back better. They just have a bad coach. In my opinion, I might be wrong. In my opinion, I think they have a bad coach, and with time, it will be fixed. Once they fix that, and then they still need to make some signings in the summer in the defensive area and still in the midfield, I think up front, they are spoiled for choice. And some players will need to go anyway. Some players will need to be sold. Some will sent on loan, and so that they balance the squad as they go. But I think Todd Boehly, is there anyone in the room who have an issue with Todd Boehly? Speak now or forever hold your breath. That's the way I'm going to start with that. So let's come to your conversation. It's Friday. Like I always say, everything goes. So you can bring in any question you want to raise the question. Ask me personal question, MPF question, my business, everything getting on it, and we will talk about it. But then the major core of the conversation is always football. Let me start with Instagram. I see there are not too many people on Instagram today, so we're going to do a whole lot on what's it called? Amaldu 19 says watching from the Legacy pitch. That's a Surulere. Thank you very much. My regards to everybody in that region. So let's do the YouTube conversation. Yes, those of you that are complaining that, why did I make it open for only people that are subscribed? My question to you is, would you die? Would it give you Ebola or COVID if you just click on the subscribe button so that you can comment? I don't know why they slide into my DM and start saying, why am I not making it open for everybody? Well, that's how YouTube work anyway. If you want to have an opinion on the show, subscribe to the channel. It's free. So it's not a big deal. And click on the notification button so that whatever we post or anything, you would have it. Well, like most of us saying, bros, nice to be here again. Yeah, it's time for us to now start bringing up all our conversation. If you are Eric Ten Hag, how do you deal with the Mason Greenwood situation? Does the team need him right now? Or you say, okay, you know what? You're going to be training with the team, but you're going to be sidelined till probably the end of the season or somewhere along the line if you're mentally ready, because this type of thing can really hit you hard. I'm also asking, should Pep Guardiola bring back Benjamin Mendy to the squad? If you are Teta, what will be your thought process? We all know that Arsenal needs a striker. Folarin Balogun stopped on the French league right now, and the season is just halfway. Would you bring him back at the end of the season, or you will say, you know what, yeah, you've done well, one season, magnificent performance, not expected, but when you do once, it's a coincidence. When you do the second time, oh no, when you do once, it's a fluke. When you do the second one, is a coincidence. When you do the third one, it's not a pattern. And that's why I remember when I first started as a sports analyst, then back then when they used to come in, Mr. Controversial, Mr. Controversial will say, this thing that I've just said today, they are unbelievably good. But it's not going to take me serious until I can do it 10 Sundays and Saturdays on the bounce. I'll be like, what does this guy mean? You adapt my ability to do this thing that I just did consistently. You think it's a fluke. Well, at the time, I used to get angry with him, like, why are you underrating me? And you know, if you're a footballer, you know that footballers, we all come with a certain ego and attitude. I'm looking at him like, with your big eye, big glasses. You're telling me to do this thing 10 times before you take me serious. You even play ball. Do you know anything about football? You know, that's my mindset. But now I am like fashion trainer. I behave like that to a lot of people. When they show up, I say, yeah, there's something there, but I want to see consistency with it. And then you do it again. Yeah. And I start being ultra critical. Like, okay, so the last time you did this, but now you did this. It's there, but it's not germinating the way I want. I'm like Mr. Fashion, right? I know that a lot of people that have grown will look at me like, you are mad. Behind my back, they will say, that he's a mad human being. What's wrong with him? What does it feel like? Well, that's your business. If you want me to groom you, that's what it takes. So let's come to the comment section on YouTube. I need to find a way to buy you credit. You're so consistent and so always first to comment. I need to buy you data. Oduni Remileko, aka the Emperor, say good morning, boss. Good morning to you. And to think of it, you said data, right? You don't need data. You are the guy who supplied data to people. He said you can reset the FPL password. I know I can. The funny thing is the email to reset it is also lost with this crazy computer. Okay, so let me show you guys. You see this thing here? This computer here is dead. It's dead. This is where everything is. Thank God, I am not good at putting my bank details in a computer. This cashless now, I'm not distracted. I just know my bank details belongs to my head. I don't save it anywhere, not on the phone, not anywhere. Every day I will log in. I will put all the details and log in afresh. Yes, I like it that way. All those ones someone gets saying over 4 million is Zenith Bank. They took it, and the Zenith Bank now reply saying the user iPhone. I don't use iPhone anyway. I use an iPhone. What's it called? Apple Pay account to swipe the money. The way I work hard to get 10,000 naira, then to 100,000 to 1 million. The way I work hard makes it almost impossible for me to trust a lot of things, like all those social platforms. Like, hey, just put your money there. Like, I don't use USSD code. Now you can't convince me. No. It makes the exit of the money too fast. No. If you want to steal my money via my gadget, you need to work hard, though. Like, you need to work hard. Now I know that, okay, you really worked hard, because all those we are calling from so and so bank, want to change your P, federal government wants to dash your money. That one, don't they work with me. They know they work with me. The only thing that work with me is send me your account number. I'll send you money. That one works because I know that you can't do anything with my account number. Another thing that works with me, even when I want to buy token for my game, I don't use my account. No. I use it on my Oyibo staff. It has a card that we don't put money at all. All of us, that's what we used to buy everything, whether it's Amazon, this one, Netflix, that's the card. We just put it there. Oh yeah. Any money that we want to spend, we put it immediately, we spend it. It's always, that account is always on sub-zero. So the bank will be like, this people, they're swear for the same thing, they leave money for you more than 5 minutes. And then they even reach 5 minutes. That's the way I work. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just telling you my own trick. Because in Nigeria, and then they feed track person money. Even Usain Bolt 12.7 million is missing. So I beg. And I don't get leverage Usain Bolt. Nobody go listen to me. Not be which day why I go sit down with people say my fans are poor. I don't want my rappers to come insult me during that one again. So Boku chill. Okay. Sami Boy 014, you say good morning, Nedafe. Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. What do they mean by saying Greenwood has been clear of rape charges? Who's guilty? Does it mean the accuser just witch hunted him, or is he guilty? In your opinion, what do you think? When they say you've been cleared of charges, are you guilty or you're not guilty? He's not guilty. The charges have been dropped. So there could be a lot of reasons why the charges are dropped. It could be lack of evidence, and probably the lawyer to the person accusing is saying, look, if you got caught like this, you're not going to win this case because we're not even getting any evidence. There's nothing to show, no video, no picture, nothing, no semen, no evidence. So if you go to court, your image will be destroyed. You can drop your charges. And the only thing I think is Greenwood can decide to say, you know what, I want to counter sue. I want to sue you for defamation of character, because there are still people who still look at him like a rapist. There are still people who see him and still call him a rapist. That's the way the world works. If, for instance, today, a news broke that I duped somebody of $100 million. Let the money have value. And maybe 6 months later, then I dropped the charges. And I said, oh no, it's a mistaken identity, it's a wrong accusation. The thing about it is the people who heard the news when the news broke, all of them might not hear the news when the charges are dropped. And when the news broke that I had duped somebody of $100 million, that news would always go far, travel far, more than the one that they dropped the charges. It will just happen on the other side. So those people who heard it and have not heard this news story now would always be in the position that kind of frustrated. The Nigerians, and so all of them be. So the only way to now strengthen your claim or your position is counter sue, so that at the end of the day, the counter sue in the case will drag to a point where you will now be able to clear your name. It's about name now. My mom used to say a good name is better than riches. I don't know if it is true to this Nigeria. I don't know, but that's what my mother used to say. My mom is dead now for 12 years. She's gone. That Nigeria that she raised me in is different from this Nigeria I'm growing in. This Nigeria I'm growing in is a Nigeria where a girl can go to school, public school, with, let me show you something. This one is not Palasa, but let me just use this one. With this Palasa phone, this phone. In mama and papa know say that this phone, the pikin carry go school. The pikin go come back for end of term or something. One section, end of section. He go come back with, not even this my phone. I do my phone, I just naturally been 170,000. He'll come back with iPhone 14 Pro Max. Fear not maybe figure price that kind of phone. Fear. Maybe we get a business that is worth close to 100 million now. I'm not going to figure price. Fear. The fear of God. Not going to make me try it. He go carry her come house. He go hold her, lie down for chair. They press, they make call. The papa and the mama no will talk anything. When I was growing up, there's a market called Makaiva Market in Warri. On Tuesday, na Gbogbo. Those of you who don't know Gbogbo, I don't say for Yoruba, na Gbogbo na everything. Gbogbo na Okrika, Bender, Select on Tuesday. So you don't save your money, they gather money. I used to work what these people call Kole now, this carrying the dustbin. I used to work with one guy called Sergio. We go to the boy state, pack dustbin. That job was paying well pretty early in my life. That job was paying well. I also had, I don't know why they also shower. I also had all these fat, overweight ladies who like to do fitness, but they don't want to be seen. So what we do is 5:30 in a college. I don't did them. My younger sister, she's in London now, and her friends and other people, they come. I collect money from them, 50 naira. I collect money from all. I don't care who you are, you must pay. If you don't pay, you can't jog with me. AC college is free, but to jog with me and do our exercise, you cannot. So that money is on a daily basis, 50 naira daily basis. That's also what works. And sometimes I schedule the training for, because if you want to take it every day now, it will cost too much, 250 naira, Monday to Sunday, or Monday to Friday, 250 naira. The thing fit cost problem. So you have to schedule it. Do Monday, do Wednesday, do Friday. and then we rest. So I come early, you come like 5:30, by 6:30, you're going to do 1 hour training. What that means is that before the footballers, the other people who come train will come, all of them, they don't sweat, they don't go. But me, I get money. I have money that you're not used to pay for training, like anything they want to do, they want buy ball. You know, you don't understand that if you play football, you play grassroots football, you understand what I'm saying? You know, all those while, that money was saving me. But I go buy, like buy jersey, I used to like V-neck t-shirt a lot. If you know me growing up, white t-shirt was my thing. I can buy 50 white t-shirts. I don't care. Now you the t-shirt you wear one, I mean Mark Zuckerberg, but you don't know. So I like different design anyway, white t-shirt. Then jerseys, I've always loved jerseys. And then long sleeve for church, you know. But my mom would still come and question me how I got the money to buy this thing, how I got the money to do that. God help me. She catch me drinking 7-Up with bread and egg. Boiled egg. I don't know how we created that combination of food. Go Sport, bread, and egg. Hey. But today, somebody will come home with iPhone Pro Max. My friend was asking me the other day that if it's my daughter, what will I do? No, she will have to. First of all, I'm so confident of this that I don't think my daughter will do it. Because once she knows the father that she's got, I will provide all of the things that she needs for her. I will show her love more than any one boy want to come and show her. I will protect her and care for her. But I also make her understand the virtue of working hard, earning your own money. And you know, guys will talk. I was telling somebody the other day that I'd rather give a working class girl 10,000 naira than give a student 10,000 naira. Because if you give a working class girl 10,000 naira, if she's earning 100,000 naira a month, she will calculate how many days she will use to work 10,000. That's 10% of her salary. So she knows that you've given her so number of days of work for free. She will value it. You give a student, she will think, oh, a common 10,000, I hardly do unless I am partly responsible for your education. That's the way my head works. Whether it's a boy, whether it's a girl. Boys, no. Working class people, they value money a lot. If any money you give them, they know that you've saved their life, that you've given them value, something very, very important, like maybe 2,500, right? So let's come back to the conversation that we're having, all right? Gwendolyn Marcus, Ambu, how are you? Say good morning, boss. Goswell Bukomena Awari, Semigo Bros, please, can we talk on how Paul ended up in Southampton? Okay, so this is how it happened. The Southampton needs a player that is a proven goal scorer, right? That will not need to come in and start learning how to score goal. A player that have a history of goals to his name and that is also affordable. That's not too expensive over the top, because Southampton are a take the money and keep the money club. They are not a take the money and spend the money club. So they were looking for someone that is affordable, that will not also come with plenty drama, that will not also come and demand excessive salaries. And somehow, Paul Onuachu fit the bill. There are only two clubs that were looking for him seriously anyway that we know. There might be others that we don't know. Southampton and Everton, and they are 19 and 20, so they are 5 and 6 in the bottom of the league. So Paul Onuachu have been tasked now with 19 games to go to perform a miracle. That miracle is not just a Paul Onuachu miracle. It's a miracle that would also require the defense defending well, because Paul Onuachu can be scoring goals and the defense are not defending well. They could be losing game 4-3, 5-2, Onuachu scoring 2 and the rest. So they need to get it tight at the back. And then Paul Onuachu, the few chances he will get, he will not get as much chance as he used to get in game. But if Paul Onuachu goes on, by the end of the season, if he scored 10 goals, just 10 goals, and somehow Southampton managed to survive relegation, he will be seen in the same bracket with Erling Haaland or whatever. Okay? That's the way I say it. Or probably in the same bracket with Folarin Balogun end the season as a top goal scorer. Now, I'm not happy about it, but Mbappe is out for 3 weeks. In that 3 weeks, if he keeps scoring a hat-trick every day, he'll be fine. Paris Saint-Germain could also change into something better than what they have with Mbappe, and then when he comes back, well, he will definitely play anyway. He's part of the owners, so he will definitely play. Olatunji Emmanuel, he said, good day, boss. Good day to you. Thank God I am on afternoon shift, and so I can listen to the show. I asked this on the group before, but I guess you were busy. I'm asking on your viewpoint on Sabitzer signing for United. What's my viewpoint? My viewpoint is good. I mean, the reason why they signed Sabitzer, they didn't sign him because they were going to the market to look for a player. They signed him because last minute they lost a player that is stable. You see, the Manchester United midfield is a beautiful one. The dynamics in that midfield is very, very beautiful. You have the experience of Casemiro, the experience of Eriksen, and the experience and energy of Bruno Fernandes. Now, what happened was that one of that triangle got injured, and that's Eriksen, and it's going to be out for a while. And instead of saying, okay, bring Fred or McTominay or anybody, they need a balance of that energy, that kinetic that those three people have created. And hunger, a little bit of hunger too. Sabitzer doesn't play regularly for Bayern Munich. Let's not forget that. So it fits the bill. Is Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes hybrid combined? If he adapts well, then Man United title push is really going to go on. So that's why they brought him in. I think it's a good buy. He obviously will end up it will end up as, what do I call it? That loan deal, what other guy is to Arsenal, that loan deal that they will hurriedly permanent. I still keep saying, and people say I'm saying this too much now because I'm sounding like a broken record, but I still keep saying that the real team that is the title contender over Man City is Manchester United. Now, that does not mean if Arsenal win it, it will be a fluke. No. The season in 2016, when Leicester won the title, the real title contenders were two teams, Spurs and Arsenal. They blew it, and Leicester won it. And that could just be the case. I still think that this battle for the title is between Man City and Man United because they've got more experience in their squad than Arsenal squad. Yeah, this January, Arsenal have done some good business, but I mean, Jacob Kivior will still need to settle in. And then Trossard, I think Trossard is a good player. From the start, if you're giving me Trossard and Mikhailo Modric, I think for short-term purpose, for the next 1 or 2 years, I will pick Trossard ahead of Mikhailo Modric. Now, this is not me cheating on Chelsea. This is not me saying Chelsea bought a wrong player. I just think from the get-go that money was too much for Mikhailo Modric. That's my opinion. And I think that spending 50 million on the part of Arsenal to get 3 players is way more important than spending almost 90 million just to get 1 player. And I'm sounding like the economist, like the greedy, stingy person, but I'm just being practical in business. There are some things that doesn't just work for me. It is also not true that you must spend big money to win titles, okay? If you have the money to spend it. I don't have a problem with spending as well. I'm not going to go out there and tell you that, oh, Chelsea are wasting money or this. But no, they're buying title. No, they have the money, spend it. But when you don't have the money, you must find a way to make it work that will still put you competing against the big spender. And I think that's what Arsenal, Arteta and Edu have done. And I'm very, very happy with the squad that we've got. Are we going to improve it in the summer? Obviously, yes. We still haven't bought a striker. Even with Gabriel Jesus on the side, we don't have a striker. We still need a striker. The good thing is this squad, everybody is coming to the party. Martinelli is coming to the party. Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, who's our top goal scorer this season in the league, all coming to the party. Granit Xhaka once in every 10 games, he will chip in 1 goal. Thomas Partey doesn't score before. Excuse me, guys. Now also have the ability to score. That's a good one. So for the transfer window, I think Arsenal have done good business. I also think, in my opinion, that Chelsea have done great business. Not good, great business. I just hope that that they get a good coach that can manage the squad together. I think also that Manchester United is one of the best teams in the league. If the players don't get injured, that the most balanced team. They got depth in their squad as well. And only that they don't have a backup for Rashford. Other than that, the team is fantastic. Man City, I think their problem is more of a mental problem than a squad problem. They've got a squad depth, but I think that there's just some things. Some players are feeling entitled. They feel that they can stroll to the title. Probably they're feeling dejected. And, at the beginning of the season, I thought that they were going to win the quadruple this season, but that's not going to happen. They might still come in and compete for the league. I also think that they'll compete for the Champions League and try to win it, but with the attitude that they've got, they might get surprised. I would not count Napoli out of the Champions League. I honestly would not. The way I've watched them, I spent time watching them, they just seem to convince me as that team that will shock everybody. But then on Wednesday and Tuesday night, something's just happened that we do not understand. Having said that, somebody sent me a message. Idafe, what can you say about this Ebenezer boy that you put out this video that went to Inter Milan? Do you think is the kind of player that will grow up to become another Victor Osimhen? Well, in terms of talent, and people will not be happy that I'm saying this. In terms of talent, I think he's got more talent, more footballing talent than Victor Osimhen, but he's a midfielder, he's not a striker. So what you require to be a striker is different from what you require to be a midfielder. But he can break play, he can dribble, he's calm, he's a very, very composed player. He's a guy you cannot put under pressure. He also can pick up a pass, but then he can arrive in the box and score goals. He can, create chances out of nothing. But you see, the age is 18. He's not going to go to that Inter Milan team and play festive football. There's going to be a time when he will stay long in reserve, but for the rest of the season, he could be in the reserve team. Now that's where the problem is. If they don't loan him out to like French league or Austria, somewhere where he will play regularly, all of this good talent, footballers easily, see, money and talent don't mix. If the salary become to make him to like feel like he has arrived, let's not forget that he's not really played local football. If ATFA, Alex Transfiguration Football Club, did not take him to Viraggio Cup, forget all these ones that everybody's saying Remo Star. And I'm not shooting on Remo Stars. They paid their way, they did their best in all of that happening. But if Alex Transfiguration Football Club did not have the access to to Viraggio Cup, Inter Milan may not have seen it. He will still just be here, probably hoping that they loan him to Portugal and then go start. But my problem is Inter does not really have a history of grooming young players to make them come to the best. So he will really need to fight more. I'm going to really wish that Kole Shoname and his Remo Star people still keep in touch with him. I know that he's not an Inter player, but he's a player too. So they find a solution where he goes to a club on loan after learning the Inter way for that to be. He goes to a club on loan. I'm not sure in that Inter midfield, any coach would gladly say, Ebenezer, come and play ahead of the pack. And if he keeps sitting on the bench, keep playing reserve game, he would lose focus. The energy would drop. And then all this potential that we're talking about might just die away. So they could loan him to Belgian league, loan him to French league, he gets regular playing time. That's what makes footballers good, especially young ones. So they get into the grind of playing week in, week out. It's like a broadcaster who doesn't have a microphone to talk. Okay? At some point, he will start losing the energy to talk. So I hope, Jenny, I've answered your question properly on that front. On Instagram, Oyewale Ogunlowo says, you are just too good at what you do. Thank you very much. Analysis and viewpoint are always on point. Thank you very much. And devoid of ambiguity. Keep up the good job. Thank you very much. If you're in Nigeria right now, you have only one choice. Either be good at what you do or don't do it at all. Olatunji say, okay, I've read that one. Johnny Gaff, my brother, I was supposed to reach out to you, but I've been caught up in a whole lot of drama. I'll chat you up. Don't worry, I've got your number now. Thank you very much for sharing your number with me. I really appreciate it. And look at your pictures. See your kid. That's how I said. That's how I reacted. It's a kid. You sound right when he writes. Appears like an elder. Okay. Johnny Gaff, I say Man United are in an even tougher position. There is a massive difference in Greenwood being proven innocent in court and the case being dropped due to the witness, his girlfriend, withdrawing. Yes, I agree completely because my friend Drew, we were talking yesterday, and I said something. I said, the problem with this withdrawal now is like, okay, what if people say Greenwood have threatened his girlfriend, his family, they've used money to buy her out from testifying? I don't know, but it's up to the prosecution to actually really prove he's guilty. But then withdrawal in this form, if the person that withdrew was actually somebody else, like far away, it's understandable. Like, okay, no problem. But this one that the girl is his girlfriend, you get away B. You get away B. Kua Maestro says, what's your point on Chelsea signing Enzo? Enzo is in need. I think it's so expensive, but he's in need. It's a player they need. And planning for the future, he had a good World Cup. I always say that I cannot choose a player. I cannot sign a player because of World Cup, because history have proven that most players you sign out of great performance from the World Cup ends up not performing very well. So I cannot. But then there are also players that have done well at the World Cup and then come out good again for club. Arsenal signed Alexis Sanchez based off of World Cup performance, and we saw what he did for Arsenal, even though he did do well for Man United and then Inter Milan subsequently. But he did well for Arsenal. You can't take that away from him. But James Rodriguez was top goal scorer. I don't know what happened next. And Harry Kane, since he scored as top goal scorer in 2018, his numbers have been going down as well. So the thing is up and down. The scale is not just one-sided. But Enzo, he's a good player, yes. So what amount of money? It's down to the two clubs. It's not about him. It's about the two clubs. Now, the burden he's going to carry is to perform based off of the expectation that people will now have on him, because once they transfer you that money, the fans don't care whether the money went to your pocket or it went to Benfica's pocket. The conversation would always be 100 and something million waste or 100 and something million. No matter how you perform, say, well, with the kind of money they spend on you, you're supposed to perform. So you're never going to perform above the money, but anytime you perform below performance, below par, there's going to be talk about it. Quentin, say good morning, bros. Thank you very much. As a parent, say good morning, boss. Good morning to you too. Do you think bringing Naby or Sane in the summer is still realistic in the summer, given the funds and the growth of Saka and Martinelli? So Martinelli now have Trossard on his side. Saka still doesn't have it backup. So Arsenal will need somebody to back up. I like Sane as a football player, but I don't like his attitude. The Arsenal team does not need to sign a player who comes to the dressing room and acting queer and awkward. And then, these days, using the word queer is not different because of the alphabet community. And, that's not what I mean. But acting very, very, a player who have mood swing. A football player having mood swing. It's not for that Arsenal dressing room, because that team is a team that is now being forged out of disappointment, of not making the top 4 last season, out of many disappointment, players being caught off like Ozil, like Aubameyang, like Azet letting go, now wanting to prove a point. You don't want to bring a player that will come there and start feeling like, oh, come, this Premier League, I've already seen before, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a big boy. No, you want players who are also as hungry as the set of players that you have, who still think that there's something to prove, like the Zinchenko, the Grealish, who's not become a regular in Brazil yet, who still know that he needs to prove himself regularly. If not, that prodigious talent that he have might just be downgraded and be seen as one of those. So I don't think that Arsenal need is Sane per se. But I think if you're going to also bring in Gnabry, I don't believe his second coming in football. It's also going to be similar. Okay, they are both similar kind of player. Rather, Arsenal should get another player for the right-hand side, because the left-hand side seems to be covered right now, especially when you know that you can also draft Emile Smith there. But now that they've sent Marquinhos on loan and he's going to be playing regularly, look at it from this angle that Marquinhos is going to come back in the summer, depending on what he did within this period. Folarin Balogun might come back as well. So these are the permutations. Gabriel Jesus is not a center forward; he's a drifter. So if you have a Gabriel Jesus, you have a Folarin Balogun, you have Eddie Nketiah, who's proved me wrong, and I apologize to him for criticizing him the way I did, but it's still not up to par yet, but he's proven me wrong. He's done way, way, way better than I expected. I don't think that that's going to be a problem for Arsenal anymore. Maybe what Arsenal should look at is either try to bring the Moises Caicedo back, or quickly jettison him and say, you know what, your club don't want to sell, we don't want to have issues again. Go ahead and go get a Declan Rice if they can. I'm not really a fan of Declan Rice. I don't think it's as good as he is. But if it's going to cost more than 100 or probably 100 million, they should look somewhere. But the price drops and is in the right place, they should get it. But I think that Marcus Thuram is a player that I'm eyeing. But now that Folarin Balogun is playing well and the scoring goes in that same league, I'm wondering, what's the use? These are the ones you have. You know what I mean? It's, your player is good, use it. This one is coming from Precious MNK001. It's about the players has some percentage of their transfer fee from the selling club. No. So what happened is there's something called loyalty bonus. If you're not the one triggering the transfer, you'll be given loyalty bonus. If you're the one demanding that you want to leave, you will not get it. So it's based on your contract and what you have written on your contract expressly. If it is not there, it's not there. If it's there, if it didn't there, it didn't there. The words of Governor Wiki. What's the next place that I've not read? Okay, I didn't remember like I said, but we will be playing in the Champions League next season. Yes, it doesn't matter. You sign players that will come. It doesn't necessarily mean that those are the players that you need. There are other players you need, but you have to first of all focus on the players you have. If Marquinhos goes and perform very well, and let's say the season end, Folarin Balogun is the top goal scorer in French league, you will be talking of signing and Serge Gnabry. Why waste money when you already have the quality within your rank? Here's a Patrick. Bros, country they hard to people are on the edge right now. Sorry for deviating. I know. I see videos. I see people. I mean, I go out. I talk to people. But that's the best you can do. You can just talk and then leave the rest to God. But I think that we should also be a little bit patient with the system. What they are doing, you see now that kidnappers are even coming at. I saw a story that kidnappers are now stopping vehicles and sharing 100,000 to passengers inside vehicle because the money is getting to be a waste in that bush that they are in. To now come out to the cities and spend the money inside, they now have a pile of money that they cannot use. So on one hand, this is what I say. To develop a city, you will take down some houses. Now they want to build Fort Milan Bridge. My estate just avoided it a bit. But there are some houses that will be pulled down. Those people will not be happy, especially if they have not sorted out their CFO. Means that nobody will give them anything. Government can be nice and relocate them to somewhere else. They might not have the money to rebuild, okay? But would you rather have those houses there or have the Fort Milan Bridge? Don't forget that the airport is coming at Eleko. So all of those things, development, progress does not come with ease. Brexit, people voted for Brexit. They have their own pain that come with that Brexit. Now, before with an EU Schengen passport, you can go across everywhere. Now, if I'm going to Europe, and I want to go to England, I want to go to Germany and Spain and France and the rest, I got a Schengen visa separate, multiple entry, and then I go get a British visa. It's not easy. It's not the right thing. But hey, these things happen. I'm not saying that we can have a perfect system. There's nobody that have a perfect system. Not America, not the UK, not the EU, not China, not Japan, not anybody. Not to talk of a strongly third world country. We will make mistakes. But again, we're a country that does not follow order. We're not a system-built people. We are a catch me if you can't kind of people. So we're always going to struggle. Am I against the change of the naira? No. There is a reason that warranted it. We just spend this money. But the people who print the money know how much of the money they put in the system. If those money cannot be accounted for, and then we're seeing money in houses, we're seeing people sharing dollars, you've got to do something. Desperate times call for desperate measures. It's not easy, but if that's the only way we can have a free or a semblance of something that is a free and fair election, there's no free and fair election anywhere in the world. Donald Trump was manipulated by hacking. So anything can happen anywhere in the world. It's just that when it happens in Nigeria, people make it look like this is the only place where bad things happen. Now, if that's the only way we can have a free and fair election, and we're going to have like maybe 2 or 3 weeks of struggling, and I'm dealing with it too. Honestly, I am. I think it's something we can bear. We'll be bearing Buhari for 8 years now. It's been messing us up. If this is just the thing we'll bear that will lead us into May, I think we should be able to bear it. And I know a lot of people like that you shouldn't be saying this, but it's the truth. Michael, later I thought you said you're going to come to the studio. You're spending how many weeks in Nigeria? Good morning, bros. With the signings Chelsea has made, do you think they can get into the top 4 in the league? If they can, who do you think they will replace amongst the current top 4? I'm sorry to disappoint you or any Chelsea fan out there. Chelsea are not making the top 4. The only condition upon which Chelsea can make the top 4 right now is to win every single game from now to the end of the season. That's one condition. Second, win quite like 80% of their remaining games and just hope that all the teams above them will lose between 3, 4 to 5 games run out to the end of the season. It doesn't look like that. They are not chasing just 1, 2, or 3 teams. They are chasing a lot of teams, and they will play against those teams in the course of the season. I think Arsenal have done a double over Chelsea already. Arsenal have played Man United home and away, lost 1-1. Arsenal have done, no, they've not done a double over Chelsea. They've done a double over Spurs. They played their double header against Man United, 1-1, lost 1, got a 6 point out of Spurs. They've got 1 game to play against Liverpool, 1 game against Chelsea. Then they've got 2 games against Man City. So Chelsea still have the top teams to play against, return leg, all across like that. And they just, I'm not looking at this thing that they win everything. Yeah, they sign some quality players, no doubt about it. But this players still need time to blend. and we'll see how it goes. That's how I'm going to put it. We'll see how it goes. And some of those games, they will drop points. And once they start dropping points, the guys at the top might just be winning and be making progress. So I'm not seeing Chelsea in top four. That would be miracle of grandiose proportion. I'm not counting it out, but I cannot, in good faith, in good conscience, predict that Chelsea will make top four. When I'm seeing the form of Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and even Newcastle, and now I still think something in my head tells me Newcastle might not make the top four. Right? They will fall off. But with Liverpool and Chelsea so in love with each other, playing 8 and 9 or 10 and 8, 9 or whatever, maybe they would cancel themselves out and make it easy for Newcastle. But I think that Newcastle might not make the top four. Might not. I'm not saying they will not. I'm just saying they might not. There's a Patrick Boss. You still the talk say make Chelsea sign players for summer. Liverpool. Yes, Chelsea still need to sign players, and they've not signed complete midfielder. Who's their creative midfielder right now in that team? You miss him out. That's the guy you want to depend on to take you, because the expectation for Chelsea next season will be for them to compete for the title, not even make the top four. And I don't think that they have a team that can compete for the title right now. So they still need about 4 signings to take that team going. And if they are going to let Edouard Mendy go, they still need another goalkeeper. So they need to sign. Liverpool are not going to sign. Liverpool, you guys have said that you are a gross and net club. So we accept you guys the way you are. We love you just the way you are. We accept you guys just the way you are. We're not going to force you to change. So it's not a Liverpool thing. We're talking about clubs who are willing to spend. Arsenal was once in this position where Liverpool is, where we say, no, we don't spend money. We just sell, we promote from the rank. So that's where you guys are. Nobody's going to judge you. I don't banter people. I just, accept people the way they are and analyze the reality of what I see in front of me. Akbaz Baba says, I beg you, make Champions League start again. Oh, I miss the feeling of Champions League. And the key way you want to drink the hungry yabi, all the beer when I want to drink. Let's say Champions League people drink more beer for night. Just close or walk. No traffic. Let me brush. All right, babe. I'll be coming earlier. There's so much traffic when I like watch Champions League. That's some coming out where he said, I don't think Potter can balance the squad. For me, I believe a new and experienced manager will be gotten at the end of the current season. And that will make another make top four. So, and then that also reduce your bargaining chip. Somebody was saying, why is just Ball is spending that much money? I said, Ball is spending money because that's the only way you can convince these players to come in. If the players are saying, oh, you're not playing the Champions League, you're not in the top four, you're not here, you're not there, what do you convince them? Convince them with the money that you have. And I think that's what work. Alushaye Ogundola said, please, where is Kenneth Omera? Kenneth Omera is in Spain, in 2nd division. What's the name of the club? Oh, I should know that Kenneth Omera is my friend. But it's in Spain, it's in 2nd division. They are battling for promotion. Last season, they missed promotion by a point. What's it called? Sadiq Umar's club beats them to promotion. They are working on that this season. Why am I forgetting the name of this club? Okay. Patrick Araman, I say, plenty greetings to greet you too. Let's say, please analyze Arsenal transfer this January. I've done that already. Maybe you didn't get it, but I've done that already. And I think that the 3 players that he brought in are good. One thing I like with the Trossard thing is his ability to play tight spaces. But he also got assisted him. He's also got a eye for a very blind pass, a wall pass, and all that, which is good. Especially if Gabriel comes back, that guy will play well with Gabriel, because Gabriel likes to run into the tight pocket of spaces, and he needs somebody who can just put the ball on the plate and then he will shoot or angle the ball into the net. So that's a good signing. Jacob Kiwa, what I like about him is he's 6'2". He's tall. He can play in the Gabriel Magalhaes position. He can play as a left fullback. He can also play as a defensive midfielder if the coach chooses to deploy him. That's also a good one. There's nothing to talk about Jorginho. I mean, he's got experience, he's got everything, but he's lost space. Let's not lie about it. Let's not deceive ourselves about that. He's lost space. He's not a first choice. He's not signing as a first choice unless Thomas Partey gets injured. So for now, that's a good backup, because, like it or not, it's better than Simi Lokonga and Elneny put together. So it's a good signing as far as I'm concerned. Oduni Rebecca said, most City players this season don't belefu. The few players we get hunger to challenge and win are small in numbers. Shouldn't but then they should focus on the Champions League because they've not won it. Good morning, please. Which team do you think will win the EFL Cup Man U or Newcastle. I think Man U will win it. Man U have experience. I think Man U will win it. It's going to be difficult, but Man U, I just think Man U will win it. ETH will win that title because he knows how to win. And the Howe does not know how to win titles. So that thing will come to play in Wembley in the finals. Is it February this month, right? You see, he would win it. That's what I think. I told my friend yesterday to ask me the same question. Johnny Gaffai said, does Nigeria still have an under-17 team? Yes, Oluka is good. How did Ebenezer Akisamiro not feature if he is so good? Okay, so Ebenezer didn't make it to the team, not because he's not good. Probably the coaches have better players. And then Ebenezer, this deal that we're talking about today has been sorted out since March last year, right? So we're waiting for him to get to 18. So when you have a player like that is already directed towards Inter Milan, it is almost impossible for you to be stressing yourself. Oh, yes, Kenneth Mura played for Leganés. Thank you very much, Shabiti. It is almost impossible for you to stress yourself, go and stay in syrup guest house in Abuja where the conditions are not good. Is that people go to under 17 because it is a means to not really to win the tournament. Nobody cares whether you win under 17. It's not something that improves your CV. People go there because it will provide you a platform to play at the world stage and the club will sign you. If you already have a route to sign for club, there were 9 clubs that were looking for him. All those 9 clubs cannot just be wrong. There is also no hunger again in him to say, oh, let me go and play under 17 and go and battle with 500 young men from other places. His own door, he read on, his son not shine. So there was no way he needed the under 17 anymore. That's the reason why he didn't bother going for the under 17. That's as far as I'm concerned, but we have an under 17. Johnny Gavai say 9/10, England wonder kid will pass through the under 17. But say for Nigeria, look at almost all our wonder kids. They all pass through the Mama Kabo, Jonathan Bomore, what's it called? Oduka Bade, back forwards, Senesi Mabaya, Wisin Oruma, Kano Wankwo, them there, put on Osike, Festus Okoga, Festus Odidi, all these guys. And then you have the Chrysanthus Macaulay, Ajiboye. All these guys pass through. They pass through on the 17th. But Nigeria is not England. The thing that you guys fail to realize is every under 17 that you have in England, and you know, the thing that I've been shouting since forever happened with the squad that won the under 17 for England. You know, every time Nigeria win under 17, and maybe only 3 or 4 players make it to the big stage, people say the rest over. They cheated with their age. England won under 17 in 2017. Only 4 players made it. What's it called? Phil Foden is the poster boy, the best player of the tournament, and 3 other guys. The other ones are nowhere to be found. If they were Nigerians, Nigerian media, sporting media will say, oh, they're not Sabio, they're overage. No. Under 17 has no bearing on how your career will go. Messi not play under 17 World Cup. Okay. So under 17 have no bearing on how your career will go. So many players have won under 17 World Cup for Brazil, for Ghana, other countries, and they ended up being rubbish. Their career don't take off. So under 17 have no bearing. But people always see that, oh, in England, look at it. The clubs have already academies that grow from the senior team down. From age 5, you don't join club. We don't have an economy that support that. How many people can even let their 5-year-old children go join the club? And the kind of situation that we find ourselves. We're growing. The reason why it worked well for this one is 2 factors. One, College of have a facility. They have the Beyond Limit, which is the academy team, and then they have Remo Stars. But beyond that, a certain man called Alex Anago had the opening to go to Viaggio Cup. He didn't have the funding to do it 100% with his team because he also have a team called Alpha. He now went to Coalition and said, okay, let's partner. 50% of this team should come from you, and then there's other team, Click Sports or some other team that brought players as it is. So what really happened was leverage. The power of leverage is what opened the door for this young man, as well as 5 or so other players that have now, gone to other clubs. And these things can happen. It's like Folarin Balogun. If Arsenal didn't loan him out to France, it would be in the reserve team, scoring goals and just being average. But now he's got to France, he's the top goal scorer there. So it's leverage. You can leverage on these opportunities as a club. We do not necessarily have to be like England, okay? But there is nothing wrong if we can afford to be like them. That's why I'm happy for clubs like Remo Stars, Vendrezas, and the rest. And then you also give notable mention to teams like 36 Lion, Box to Box, that have their player replace Paul Onuachu again. All of this, the system is building, but it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. This England I was talking about, I'm a 70s child. I was born in 77. In the 80s, I practically lived majority of my life in England. Football was shit in England in the 80s, up until the early 90s. And then David Dane and Co, they changed the Premier League to what it is today. Robert Murdoch brought his money and all that. How many people are that lucky to have a structure like that? And then plus a government policy that supports all of these, developmental structure and the rest of them. It's not easy. So, excuse me, we're not going to be like them, but we're trying. We're making progress. I mean, if you look at the numbers, we're shooting up, we're making progress. We're gradually getting better. I mean, who would have thought that we'll have a Remo Stars like this, a Vedresa like this, and the evolution that we're going through now, even in streaming of our matches and doing what they're doing. The TCC League also is doing a good job, and with time, we'll get better. Let me finish with the comments so that I go. My time is actually up. Johnny Gavase, okay, I also say, also, do you know anything about the report in the UK of the Nigerian billionaire closing in on purchasing Sheffield United? I think I read it the way you read it, but I said, and I'm going to say it, that man is on a journey to be broke. And maybe we'll talk about this on Monday. He's on a journey to be broke. First off, Nigerians do not know how to do long-term business. It's a Nigerian thing. This club that he's buying is going to buy for prestige purpose. This club comes with more liability than assets. So now he's a billionaire. 10 years down the line, it will just be a billionaire. He will not be a billionaire. If he continue with the club business, it will not be a billionaire. Sheffield United is not a big sale. So you want to buy that club, you are going to invest in building a stadium. You're going to invest naturally. It's an Igbo man again. Naturally, Igbo likes to show. So you put all that together, it would eventually find out that football business is not a profitable business. I do not know anybody, please, if you know one, point it to me. Anybody that's gone into football business and come out of it successful, richer than they were before they went into the business. They all always come out poorer than they were before they went into the business. So his other business must really be thriving well. It's only in America where you go into sports business and 10, 15 years down the line, you become richer, right? And probably that's what the Glazers have proven. Somebody comes out and buy the club. FSG are richer now than before they came in. How were they before they came in? And how are they now? Have they sold the club? What's the profit they've made? They've not made any profit out of the club. Okay? Nobody goes into Silvio Berlusconi in 1986 started this whole rush of spending big money. He went in the billionaire, he came out poor. Roman Abramovich was the ninth richest man in the world. By the time he left Chelsea, the first amount of Chelsea, it was almost 200. Right? Name anybody, any name you name, they say Arab people don't lose their money. The person that owns Sheffield right now is a billionaire Arab man before. Now he's broke. He never got money again. He will soon go homeless. He's banking on friends. I could take you far. This is a study. Like I did a thesis on this. I like a complete thesis on this. European football is built of passion. That's why I always say European football, I'll say it anywhere, is money laundering. It's a scam. It's not, this is not football business. It's a scam. There's nobody who go into football business in Europe and come out successful. Nobody. If you have 10 billion, you own a football club, 10 years down the line, you are fucking broke. Point to one person. Jesus Gil died. The former owner of Atletico Madrid. He died of heart attack because of football results. So we could go on and on and on and on and on. The people who make money are like a club like Real Madrid, where you're not the owner, you're a president, so you're a businessman. Yeah? They will sell for 3 billion. They don't sell. They don't tell me they will sell. They don't sell. They say Glazer will sell for 6 billion or 7 billion. Jimmy Ratcliffe will buy. You see that Jimmy Ratcliffe that somebody will bring out 7 billion and buy a club. No. So let's put this thing in fact, not in assumption. The reality on ground says nobody is going into football business and come out rich. Roman Abramovich owned Chelsea for 19 years. They never declared profit one day. The club still own until today. Till today, they still own. Worst of all, the money where they take sell, they cannot give out. They cannot go put for Ukraine politics. That's another conversation. If that happen for Nigeria, Buhari is this, Buhari is that. Let's talk about that. Yomiti, he said it's difficult to comment on what Chelsea is doing right now. That's why some true Chelsea fans are trying to understand the blueprint of the new owner. But eventually, you guys will comment. Don't worry. One example, he says, so why do they spend millions of dollars acquiring football club, including foreigners going to England? What's the game? There's no game. And I'm only laundry. You join the football Illuminati. You have access. Yomiti, say first, how do you replace a manager of your club and replace with someone who has not won anything and give him 6 years contract? What is the reason for this shopping spree without the coach having a say or saying anything? Well, bro, we will watch you guys. Like I said, I will not banter Chelsea now. The time to banter them will come. Why rush? If they do well, good. It is too much in a hurry to banter them. I can't banter Chelsea right now because one, I'm an Arsenal fan. Chelsea has been one of the most successful club in England in the last 20 years. We've got to give them that respect. When this thing continues over 5 years and nothing is happening, then we cannot have a conversation. But right now, nobody to me, I cannot be tempted to say anything. Patrick Aramana said Abramovich lost a lot of money to Chelsea. Patrick went on to say he tried to do real estate alongside Chelsea. Yeah, as Patrick said, boss, if no one make profit from football in a continent like Europe, then how Nigerian owners they survive? The private ones, they send players to Europe. That's enough to survive. Okay, they send players to Europe. They do politics. They do a whole lot of things. But this is why I draw the curtain on the show. Prove me wrong by going back and research and show me one club owner who bought a club in Europe and come out. Somebody, the guy who buy Crystal Palace, man, a radio presenter for TalkSports. You know how you go from being a businessman, you own a football club alongside 10 of the other friends. Now you're a radio presenter, you do show for radio. You know how that be. Simon Jordan is his name. Go search him out. Simon Jordan, former owner of Crystal Palace. Now presenter now for radio. In short, if I have my way, I'll employ himself. Let's not even have that conversation. I'm done. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I know that all of you that comment now, subscribe to it. But if you did not comment and you're unable to comment, please do what to subscribe to the channel. That's the only way you can. Already told me that I have broke fans. I accept it, but I like my fans like that. We are all broke together. We know this weekend so that we're not going to laugh at you on Monday. Take care and bye-bye.